Hello there. So this is just a short review of the Fujifilm X T10 camera I've been taking away on this cruise that I've been on for the last few days. So let's have a look at what I've said about this. Really enjoyed using the camera. I'm glad that I brought an additional grip for it, which has an L plate. It makes it feel a lot more sturdy in the hand, and it also makes me feel safe that I'm not going to drop the camera, particularly because I'm sometimes leaning over balconies with the camera, and I didn't bring a wrist strap. So having a firm grip on the camera is really a good thing. So the Fujifilm lenses that I brought with me and the TT Artisan lens, they look sharp. The images that I've seen from the LCD monitor on the back of the camera, they look sharp when I zoom in. The Fujifilm lenses don't have an aperture ring, so you just have to be careful and take a note of which f-stop you're using. That's an example of one of the Fujifilm lenses. The other one is actually on the camera right now. So what else have I said here? So yeah, so for tourism and street photography, I stayed in aperture priority mode. Most of the time that worked fine for me. I did try some panning shots of people moving past me on bicycles in Amsterdam, and for those I used the shutter priority mode. So looking at dialing in the right shutter speed using the dial on the top plate. But going slower in the shutter speed range, I had to sort of be careful of not overexposing the images. Because I didn't have an ND filter with me, so the weather was really bright, sunshine, and it was the middle of the day as well, so I had to keep an eye on those ISO settings, and I also shoot in RAW plus JPEG, so I've got the benefit of the film simulations, but I can also edit the RAW images afterwards. So if I need to sort of increase the contrast, then I can do. Or decrease the exposure. Obviously, though, if you've blown out your some of the parts of the image, they're blown out. You're never going to get those back, so you have to be very careful. I won't know until I get home and look at the images. Mostly for ISO, I use the auto settings, but it's good that there's a choice of different ISO settings that you can choose manually, and you can also choose about 3 different auto max ISO settings. So they are auto ISO settings, but there's a limit to what maximum you set, and that's similar to other cameras, but there was a choice of 3 on the Fujifilm X T10. They are the 800, the 1600 and the 3200. So I didn't want to go over 800 really, so that's the one I chose. I also used bracketing for the first time. There are 2 settings for bracketing on one of the dials on the top plate, and I use those for film simulation bracketing, and I use them for dynamic range bracketing. Those are for some night shots. They seem to be easy to use, really. I found those quite good. And also, when you press the Q button, you get access to some quick settings, and those include shadows, highlights, and I think there's a tone setting as well. So I use those to create a sort of an S-curve, and I use that with the standard film simulation. I'm glad I brought the GorillaPod with me, which is what the camera is standing on right now. I've used it to wrap a leg around the banister, so I use that for some night shots, so that was quite helpful. I'm not sure how they're going to turn out. As I say, they look sharp on the back of the camera monitor, but I won't know until I get home and have a look at them on the big screen. I did use the long exposure noise reduction setting, I turn that on, and I use a combination of that with noise reduction set to strong. But I did leave the image stabilization on continuous, so I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. When I've seen other instructions from other camera manufacturers, it tells you to turn image stabilization off if you're using it on a tripod, so I don't know how they're going to turn out. So as I say, the lenses I've used are the TT Artisan, and that's an f1.4 25mm. I haven't used that very much, I must say. I've got it set to the manual focus setting is on peaking, so it helps me to sort of the colour is set to red, so it helps me to see what's in focus. I've used that a few times, more on the sort of more arty shots. I probably ought to try using it in the evening for the night landscapes, using that f1.4 aperture to its maximum. But as I was using a tripod anyway, didn't really sort of see the need. And the images look sharp, so let's hope they are. When I was walking around Amsterdam, one of the excursions, I had on the 16 to 50mm f3.5 to 5.6, and because it was bright sunshine and the subjects were fairly close to me, that was fine. Didn't need anything else, and it was quick and easy to take shots and walk around. Wasn't too heavy either. I did leave the telephoto zoom at the cabin though. Didn't take that with me. Mainly due to weight, I think. I didn't want to be lumbered with too heavy a bag. So I haven't taken much video. The movie mode works by pressing the red recessed button on the top plate. I find that a bit awkward, if I'm honest. It doesn't give you a very positive feel when you press it down. So you do have to check that it's recording and that recording has stopped. And the only indication you get for there's a recording going on is a red flashing dot on the LCD monitor. I hope that the face auto detection works pretty well. It seems to have done a reasonable job in the past when I've used the Fujifilm for video. It's not my go-to video film camera. But I hope it's doing a reasonable job recording this. I do have an external microphone plugged in. I've got the Rode video microphone plugged in. Now this might just be my camera, but I find that the shutter button half press isn't great. It isn't great, give me a confident feel. And sometimes if I'm too heavy-handed, it will just completely miss the autofocus half press completely. There is a way around that potentially with the AFL button, the autofocus lock button. I need to explore that more. It's something that I haven't really explored, but I believe you can use that for a back button focus button. So yeah, I will definitely need to try that out. So that's it really. So overall I've been very happy shooting with the Fujifilm X T10. I'll be interested to see how the film simulation have come out and what kind of images that they have given me. So thanks very much for watching. Let's have a look at a gallery of images I've shot with the Fujifilm X T10.